She won't fall in love just because you bought her flowers, or because you send her a good morning text every day. Love doesn't knock on her heart with grand gestures. It arrives quietly, in moments you don't even notice, slowly, silently, until one day she looks at you and realizes she feels something deep. And it's not because of what you did, it's because of how she feels when she's with you. It's the peace in your presence, the ease in her heart when you're around, the safety to be her raw, unfiltered self. You see, love doesn't crash in like a wave. It builds like a calm tide rising through small, powerful moments. And the first of those moments, it's when she feels emotionally safe, not physically, emotionally. She watches how you handle her words, how you respond to her stories, whether you're someone who protects her truth or someone who'll trade it for attention. If your energy feels chaotic, she won't trust it. If you chase her with flashy confidence but no depth, she'll admire you, but from a distance. But if you're calm, grounded, and unshaken, she'll lean in, again and again, until your presence feels like home. That's when love starts. Not with fireworks, with familiarity, and then comes something even deeper, attunement. It's not about reading her mind, it's about listening between her words, noticing the shift in her tone when she says, "I'm fine," catching the light in her eyes when a memory surfaces, knowing how she takes her coffee, not because she reminded you, but because you cared enough to remember. That's where the magic lives, not in money, not in looks, but in awareness. When she feels seen, truly seen, her heart begins to trust, without force, without resistance. Most men make one mistake. They try to convince a woman to love them, but love doesn't grow in pressure. It blooms in presence, the kind of presence that feels whole, the kind that says, "I'm here, but I'm not lost in you." That balance between showing up fully and still having your own world pulls her in like gravity. She won't fall for you because you need her. She'll fall because you don't need her to feel whole, and yet you make her feel like she matters more than anything. When you speak from your soul, not to impress but to be real, that's when her heart leans closer. Vulnerability isn't weakness, it's strength that doesn't need armor. When you tell her something honest about your fears, your pain, your past, it opens a door she didn't even know she was waiting at. She sees your humanity, and that gives her permission to show hers. Love is not about fixing each other. It's about standing still in someone's storm and saying, "I'm here. I see you." Stillness. That's what separates men she remembers from the ones she forgets. In chaos, she watches your stillness. In her storm, she watches your calm. If you're grounded, it tells her you can carry more than just your own weight. You can carry her trust. And that's when she begins to believe you're not just passing through, you're a place she can rest. But here's the truth no one tells you. Consistency matters more than intensity. You can take her on the best date of her life, say all the right things, make her laugh, make her feel special. But if you disappear a week later, it all collapses. She doesn't want fireworks. She wants rhythm. She wants to feel your presence even on her worst days. She wants to feel chosen again and again, not because things are perfect, but because you're real. Your consistency is her proof that you mean what you say, that your care isn't a performance, that you're not just there to win her, you're there to stay. And the deepest truth? She doesn't fall in love with you. She falls in love with how she feels when she's with you. If you make her feel more confident, more alive, more herself, she'll begin to associate you with those feelings. And that's what creates attachment, not praise, but reflection. She sees herself in your eyes, not the version the world demands, but the version she loves most. She's not looking to be wanted, she's looking to be seen, not just for her beauty, her smile, or her softness, but for her silence, for her values, for the parts of her that most overlook. When you notice those things, without her asking, she doesn't forget, because attention isn't love, but real attention, honest, focused, human attention, that's where love begins. And here's the thing, you don't have to chase it. You just have to become the kind of man she can't ignore. The man who doesn't need her to complete him, but who makes her feel more complete when she's with him. So don't try to impress her. Become the man whose presence is peace, whose words carry weight, whose silence speaks louder than noise. That's the kind of man a woman falls for, not because he shouts the loudest, but because when he speaks, it feels like home.